Hello, welcome back. It's evening, 7 p.m. Just finished eating my foods, my hot evening foods. My internet connection is very slow today and been slow yesterday. I think I have to reboot my internet connection, but I have to finish upload. That will take like 2 hours to upload, so maybe I should wait. To upload this. So I just make some hot food, rice, curry rice with onions, and this soy sauce called tamari. Use some rice and a little can of tuna. I will make the same Friday. So and some good rice, some jasmine rice. But let's get some heating on and read about 3 nanometers. I think they're not making computer chips in 3 nanometers yet, but I think they will do that soon in a few years. But they're making computer chips in 5 nanometers. The Apple M1 CPU, and I think the Intel Core, they will make in like 7 nanometers soon, but they do it in 10 nanometers. The Intel 7 nodes. Yes, the Intel 7 nodes is 10 nanometers. So let's put some heating on. So I have to read it again. Again later. I have to read about the 10, 7 and 5 nanometers later, like next year. And 3 nanometers this size. I think the 10 nanometer is the biggest size. They not do 12 nanometers. Maybe they do 12, but not 14, I think. So, but that's like 10 or 11 pages. So just continue. I need a break. I need a break from reading this tanks and weapons and wars. So let's read about computer chips. A few days. And next is 2 nanometers. No, that's Apple M1. They're making in 5 technology nodes, 5 nanometers. They do that. Intel will not do that, even not 7 nanometers. So let's try read this and the 2 nanometers. Speakers 250 and light off. So that's some PDF. I have to put it on my read again list because we have to read it in the future many times because they're getting smaller and smaller. I have to check my cell phone. No, the computer chips, the transistors is getting smaller and smaller every year. But that takes take a few years to build this semiconductor factories, cost a lot of money. Yes, let's just read and relax.
3nm process. In semiconductor manufacturing, the 3nm process is the next die shrink after the 5nm MOSFET, metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, technology node. As of 2022, Taiwanese chip manufacturer TSMC plans to put a 3nm semiconductor node termed N3 into volume production in the second half of 2022. 2. An enhanced 3nm chip process called N3E may start production in 2023. 3. South Korean chipmaker Samsung officially targeted the same time frame as TSMC, as of May 2022, with start of 3nm production in the first half of 2022 using 3GAE process technology and with 2ND Gen 3nm process, named 3GAP, to follow in 2023, 4, 5, while according to other sources Samsung's 3nm process will debut in 2024. 6. American manufacturer Intel plans to start 3nm production in 2023. 7, 8, 9. Samsung's 3nm process is based on GAFET, gate all-around field effect transistor technology, a type of multi-gate MOSFET technology, while TSMC's 3nm process will still use FinFET, fin field effect transistor technology. 10. Despite TSMC developing GAFET transistors. 11. Specifically, Samsung plans to use its own variant of GAFET called MFET, multi-bridge channel field effect transistor. 12. Intel's process dubbed Intel 3 without the nm suffix will use a refined, enhanced and optimized version of FinFET technology compared to its previous process nodes in terms of performance gained per watt, use of EUV lithography, and power and area improvement. 13. The term 3nm has no relation to any actual physical feature, such as gate length, metal pitch or gate pitch, of the transistors. According to the projections contained in the 2021 update of the International Roadmap for Devices and Systems published by IEEE Standards Association Industry Connection, a 3 node is expected to have a contacted gate pitch of 48 nanometers and a tightest metal pitch of 24 nanometers. 14. However, in real-world commercial practice, 3nm is used primarily as a marketing term by individual microchip manufacturers to refer to a new, improved generation of silicon semiconductor chips in terms of increased transistor density, i.e. a higher degree of miniaturization, increased speed and reduced power consumption. 15. 16. Moreover, there is no industry-wide agreement among different manufacturers about what numbers would define a 3nm node. Typically the chip manufacturer refers to its own previous process node, in this case the 5nm process node, for comparison. For example, TSMC has stated that its 3nm FinFET chips will reduce power consumption by 25 to 30% at the same speed, increase speed by 10 to 15% at the same amount of power and increase transistor density by about 33% compared to its previous 5nm FinFET chips. 17, 18. On the other hand, Samsung has stated that its 3nm process will reduce power consumption by 45%, improve performance by 23%, and decrease surface area by 16% compared to its previous 5nm process. 19. EUV faces new challenges at 3nm which lead to the required use of multi-patterning. 20. History. Research and technology demos. In 1985, a Nippon Telegraph and Telephone (NTT) research team fabricated a MOSFET (MOS) device with a channel length of 150 nm and gate oxide thickness of 2.5 nm. 21. In 1998, an Advanced Micro Devices (AMD) research team fabricated a MOSFET (MOS) device with a channel length of 50 nm and oxide thickness of 1.3 nm. 22. 23. In 2003, a research team at NEC fabricated the first MOSFETs with a channel length of 3 nm, using the PMOS and MOS processes. 24. 25. In 2006, a team from the Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, KAIST, and the National NanoFab Center, developed a 3 nm width multigate MOSFET, the world's smallest nanoelectronic device, based on gate-all-around GAAFET technology. 26. 27. Commercialization history. In late 2016, TSMC announced plans to construct a 5 nm 3 nm node semiconductor fabrication plant with a co-commitment investment of around $15.7 billion. 28. In 2017, TSMC announced it was to begin construction of the 3 nm semiconductor fabrication plant at the Tainan Science Park in Taiwan. 29. TSMC plans to start volume production of the 3 nm process node in 2023. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. In early 2018, IMEC, Inter-University Microelectronics Center, and Cadence stated they had taped out 3 test chips using extreme ultraviolet lithography, EUV, and 193 nm immersion lithography. 35. In early 2019, Samsung presented plans to manufacture 3 nm GAAFET gate-all-around field effect transistors at the 3 nm node in 2021, using its own GFET transistor structure that uses nanosheets, delivering a 35% performance increase, 50% power reduction and a 45% reduction in area when compared with 7 nm. 36, 37, 38. Samsung's semiconductor roadmap also included products at 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4 nm nodes. 39. 40. In December 2019, Intel announced plans for 3 nm production in 2025. 41. In January 2020, Samsung announced the production of the world's first 3 nm GAAFET process prototype and said that it is targeting mass production in 2021. 42. In August 2020, TSMC announced details of its N3 3 nm process, which is new rather than being an improvement over its N5 5 nm process. 43. Compared with the N5 process, the N3 process should offer a 10-15%, 1.101.15, increase in performance, or a 25-35%, 1.251.35. Decrease in power consumption with a 1.7 increase in logic density, a scaling factor of 0.58, a 20% increase, 0.8 scaling factor, in SiA missile density, and a 10% increase in analog circuitry density. Since many designs include considerably more SiM than logic, a common ratio being 70% SRAM to 30% logic, die shrinks are expected to only be of around 26%. TSMC plans volume production in the second half of 2022. 1. In July 2021, Intel presented brand new process technology roadmap, according to which Intel 3 process, the company's second node to use EUV and the last one to use FinFET before switching to Intel's ribbon-fed transistor architecture, is now scheduled to enter product manufacturing phase in H2 2023.7. In October 2021, Samsung adjusted earlier plans and announced that the company is scheduled to start producing its customers' first 3nm based chip designs in the first half of 2022, while its second generation of 3nm is expected in 2023.4. In June 2022, at TSMC Technology Symposium, the company shared details of its N3E process technology scheduled for volume production in 2023 H2. 1.6 higher logic transistor density, 1.3 higher chip transistor density, 10 to 15% higher performance at ISO power or 30 to 35% lower power at ISO performance compared to TSMC N5 version 1.0 process technology, FinFET technology, allowing to intermix libraries with different track heights within a block, etc. TSMC also introduced new members of 3nm process family, high-density variant N3S, high-performance variants N3P and N3X, and N3RF for ARF applications. 44, 45, 46. In June 2022, Samsung started initial production of a low-power, high-performance chip using 3nm process technology with GAA architecture. 47, 48. According to industry sources, Qualcomm has reserved some of 3nm production capacity from Samsung. 49. On the 25th of July 2022, Samsung celebrated the first shipment of 3nm gate-all-around chips to a Chinese cryptocurrency mining firm Pansemi. 50, 51, 52, 53. It was revealed that the newly introduced 3nm MBCFET process technology offers 16% higher transistor density, 54, 23% higher performance or 45% lower power draw compared to an unspecified 5nm process technology. 55. Goals for the second generation 3nm process technology include up to 35% higher transistor density, 54, further reduction of power draw by up to 50% or higher performance by 30%. 55, 56, 54. On the 29th of December 2022, TSMC announced that volume production using its 3nm process technology N3 is underway with good yields. 57. The company plans to start volume manufacturing using refined 3nm process technology called N3E in the second half of 2023. 58. In December 2022, at IEDM 2022 conference, TSMC disclosed a few details about their 3nm process technologies. Contacted gate pitch of N3 is 45 nm, minimum metal pitch of N3 is 23 nm, and SRAM cell area is 0.0199 m² for N3 and 0.021 m² for N3E, same as in N5. For N3E process, depending on the number of fins in cells used for design, area scaling compared to N5 2 to 2 fin cells ranges from 0.64x to 0.85x. Performance gains range from 11% to 32% and energy savings range from 12% to 30%. The numbers refer to Cortex-A72 core. TSMC's FinFlex technology allows to intermix cells with different number of fins in a single chip. 59, 60, 61, 62. Reporting from IEDM 2022, semiconductor industry expert Dick James stated that TSMC's 3nm process suffered only incremental improvements, because limits have been reached for fin height, gate length, and number of fins per transistor, single fin. After implementation of features such as single diffusion brake contact over active gate and fin flex, there will be no more room left for improvement of FinFET-based process technologies. 63. 3nm process notes. Samsung 464 6